Hello students, this is Mrs. Miller, and the purpose of this video is to introduce you to Jeremiah's Song. This is the short story by Walter Dean Myers. I'm going to read through this page here, and then we're going to do a little quick writing activity before we begin. Please follow along. It says, when is a story a treasure? Why do some stories get passed along from one generation to the next? Think about why a story might be a treasure, a story worth remembering and sharing with others. Is the story funny, sad, and even scary? Does it teach you something? In Jeremiah's Song, the young characters consider the value of an older man's stories. For our quick write activity, it says in a journal entry, briefly describe a story that is meaningful to you. The story can be one you have heard, read, or seen. Explain why this story is important to you. And my friends, you're going to complete this journal entry right here on the side margin. On these lines, you're going to write a description of the story, and then on these lines here, you're going to write why it is important to you. Please push pause on the video and go ahead and complete your journal entry. Okay, let's continue on. This says text analysis, dialect and conversational voice. You can learn a lot about a character by paying attention to the way he or she speaks. If a story's narrator uses conversational voice, readers feel like the narrator is speaking directly to them. When writers use dialect, characters speak in a way that is common to a particular region and community. As you read, examine conversational voice and dialect by asking yourself questions like the ones that follow. For conversational voice, in what ways is the narrator's voice unique? What words and phrases make the narrator's voice sound like everyday speech? What does the conversational voice tell me about how the narrator feels? And for dialect, you can ask yourself these questions. What are some clues, such as words, phrases, grammar, or spelling, that help me identify the region or community? How can I restate the dialect in my own words? What does this dialect tell me about the narrator? Let's go on to page 87. It says, reading strategy, monitor. As you read, it is helpful to occasionally monitor or check your understanding. One way to monitor is to clarify what you've read. This means you stop and make sure that you can clearly explain what is going on in the story. If not, reread and look for clues to help you restate the information in your own words. As you read Jeremiah's Song, you will monitor and clarify meaning as shown in the chart below. So, my friends, when you're clarifying meaning, you can jot down or you can think about the part that confuses you, and then think about a way to explain it in your own words. For example, I'm not sure how the characters are related to each other. And then as you read on, you can figure out, Ellie is the narrator's cousin. So that's just an example of how to monitor your thinking or check your understanding. And you'll be doing that in the side margins as you read the story. Let's take a look at the vocabulary and context. It says, note, words are listed in the order in which they appear in the story. The first word is stroke. It's a noun, and the definition is a sudden, severe attack, a sudden loss of blood flow to the brain, often leading to physical or mental damage. And the sentence says this, he couldn't move his arm after he had a stroke. The second word is diagnosis, and here's the pronunciation guide so you can see how to pronounce the word. It is a noun, and the definition is the identification of a disease through examination of a patient. And the sentence says, the doctor made a diagnosis about what was wrong. Our third vocabulary word is condition, and you can see here how to pronounce it, condition. It is a noun, and the definition is a disease or state of health. The sentence says this: Grandpa has a serious condition, but it can be treated. And our fourth vocabulary word is setback. It is also a noun. It's an unexpected stop in progress, a change from better to worse. The sentence says getting a cold was only a small setback in his recovery. My friends, I would like for you to please write the word, which is right here, the part of speech, the definition, and the sentence for each of your vocabulary words. Again, you're writing the word, the part of speech, the definition, and the sentence. And I want you to use the sentence that they've given you. You're just copying this information right here. When you're finished with that, I want you to go right down to vocabulary practice. It says, review the vocabulary words and think about their meanings. Then brainstorm with a partner what you think Jeremiah's song could be about based on the list above. Write down your prediction, and you're going to do that on the lines.